Good afternoon, Cedarfield family. I hope everyone is doing well on this fine Friday, May 29th. Thank you for tuning in. If you are here at the community, if you are listening to this video tonight, we appreciate you taking time out, precious time away from your family. Today's format is really quite simple. One, we have Matt Dameron, who is our Associate Executive Director, here to talk a little bit about our licensed areas. Yours truly will talk a little bit about our Cedarfield Forward plan. And I want to take a step back through time here just to show you a couple of pictures of just one little example of how far we have come over the last 3 years. And then we're going to wrap it up with some words of spiritual health, I think, from Trish Carter. So first, I just want to start off a little bit about community, respect, and planning. There's a reason why actually someone chose Aretha Franklin for today's live chat. And when the song came in and said, why don't you just really think about playing this song, I immediately went to respecting the plan, our faith's plan, respecting the sense of community. It's kind of where my head went. And so I'm going to take you back through just a little bit of time right now. Yours truly, for those of you who don't know, was born and raised in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. And I say that because those of you that are little history buffs, William Penn, when he came across the Atlantic and wanted to form a new way of living for people coming across the pond, so to speak, he really wanted a sense of community. And he brought over the seas to him a concept called the Quaker Way. And those of you that have been in and around the southeastern parts of Pennsylvania, pretty much every corner, every couple of miles, there's a retirement community there in a very dense population. Living in southeast Pennsylvania for many people, 65 years of age and better, it's not a matter of if you will move into a retirement community, it's a matter of when, and you really know which one you're going to move into because there's just so many choices. It's a way of life. It's a true sense of community in southeastern Pennsylvania. The Quaker Way, William Penn actually, through the Quaker philosophy and values, he really believed that people of similar age should congregate together and draw on the strengths and the demographics of one another to live. And so, really, in the history books, we can trace back our earliest retirement communities in the country to southeastern Pennsylvania, and there's many Quaker-led philosophy communities in the southeastern Pennsylvania parts of the country. When I was a little child, I actually volunteered at a few of them. And so I say that because belonging in community is just critical. It is just critical that it's clearly we've created a way of living, and many people who have chosen to live here in Cedarfield have probably chosen this way of life because of the sense of community that it brings with you and the people around you. I think it's imperative for Cedarfield to be on mission and to have the shared values. Otherwise, in the case of many CCRCs or assisted living, nursing homes, skilled nursing facilities. They grow maybe in fellowship, but not to the depth of really what the culture is intended to. It's impossible to see our own issues. It is impossible to see our own issues unless it's done in a messiness of close community. And the problem is when we see people either leave the community or we ignore the 10%, or ignore the inclusion, or ignore the diversity, it hinders our growth and hinders the growth of the people around us. So we really need the messiness so that we can identify the rough edges in ourselves. And so I mentioned this for a couple reasons, kind of going back to community, respect, the 10%. It literally takes, in my opinion, a village of common-minded individuals to help us all fulfill and comprehend what our intentions are and what our plans are, especially those intentions and plans that we have here at Cedarfield, or why people moved here to begin with. We have some illusions, and some of us don't quite understand what the depths are of folks' intentions or plans, but we really need to create a community based on respect and trust so that people can speak up and speak the truth. Speak the truth in love and honesty, because we know that people don't want to really be ignored. I don't want to be ignored. And it's when we see and experience and finally respect the truth and the intellectual thoughts and harness all of that together, that we really begin to understand the depth of our community. And it can only happen in my opinion, a very loving community that's striving to not just know one another, but learn from one another and thrive from one another. Does anybody love optical illusions? Do you like optical illusions? Looking at them? What are optical illusions? They teach us that there's sometimes they are a perception of reality that is inaccurate. Our eyes are being tricked into seeing what the artist really wants us to see, or not even the facts. Even magicians work off of the same principle. They are matters of illusion and misdirection, and their art is to make sure that we only see what they want us to see. The fact of the matter is we need to learn from it. I especially love, there's this a Franciscan tradition that's out there that is quoted as saying, most people don't see things as they are, rather they see things as they are. Our perceptions of life around us are based not only on our personal notions, but also our experiences, the truth that we have for one another that live around us. And we really form our opinion and our sense of community as we are really reaching to the ability that we're able to reach out to one another and really come to understand where that other person is actually coming from. So I mention all this because our Cedarfield Forward plan, our 3-phase plan, is not an illusion. We are not trying to hide behind anything. We need to, what I've learned over the last couple of days is we just be reading a lot of emails and residents stopping by, reading some texts from folks, that we need to respect probably the biggest strength of Cedarfield, which happens to be our differences. In fact, we actually created a Cedarfield 3-phase plan to move through this new world that we're in, that COVID-19 has created for us. We created that the differences in mind of the residents, the families, team members, the Pinnacle Living Office, and different experts outside of our campus. And I am respectfully asking everyone, to become familiar with our Cedar Field Forward Phase 1 plan. Over the weekend, I am respectfully asking that you come to learn what the plan is, share it with your family and friends, respect the plan, live out the plan. It's our plan. We really did a very noble job, a very humble and noble job of bringing together the differences of one another to create this plan. And like I said, I am respectfully asking people to read the memo that we posted last week, and we outlined 7 pages of what the Cedar Field Phase 1 plan is. And please just come to respect the plan. It's not my plan. It's everyone's plan. And live out that plan. What we have noticed here in the last week is everybody has a counter for something that's already in the plan. Well, you have this and that in the plan, Michael. Why not allow that to happen? And if we start getting into all of the what ifs and the counters and try to answer all the counters and try to come up with so many different options for other parts and pieces to the plan, there really is no Phase 1 plan. And so I'm, again, respectfully asking that we all rally around the plan that we have right now, and where we can modify it and adapt it in these next couple of weeks to make it even stronger, we'll do that. But if you're the folks that are out there that really don't even care about the plan, or if you are folks that are out, the team members too, I'm just talking about residents, or even families, and if you're the type that are just saying, forget the plan, we don't care about what that plan is, we're going to live our life the way we want to, I would go back to the beginning of what I just said. We're all here, we're living in community, we're working in community, we're respecting our differences of opinion, but in my opinion, I am hoping that we are all rallying around this one plan to get us through the next several weeks. It is a very comprehensive plan, filled with diversity, inclusion, and a lot of expertise from residents, team members, and experts outside of the community. So, bring my, it's not back there. I have a couple other slides I'd like to share with you. I just received, could you zoom in on this thing? I just received this about 5 minutes before we were about to come in here for this live chat. You are braver than you believe, you are stronger than you seem, you are smarter than you think, and loved more than you know. Immaculate. I thought it was just so appropriate to receive this right before we were about to go on to this live chat, because I think residents and team members and families of Cedar Field, we are all braver than we believe. I believe we are all stronger than we seem. We are smarter than we think. And we're all loved more than we know. And I think, again, going back to the sense of community, if we respect the plan and we know that the plan is not only for the benefit of the individual, but the greater good of the community, I think the better off we will all be in the coming weeks and months ahead as we forge ahead in the Cedar Field Forward plan and into a new normal until we develop a vaccine around the world. So it wasn't too long ago, look at this picture. It wasn't too long ago that we were in this fellowship hall. We were all wearing our yellow hard hats back in 2017. Do you remember this picture? Eddie, do you remember this picture?
Mm-hmm.
I just love this picture. To me, it speaks volumes of our sense of community. We all rallied around the fact that we were about to launch into a master plan for this community, for the good of the residents that live here currently, and the future growth of Cedarfield. Just love this picture. So I took the liberty of taking a step back through time. There was a team member here a couple days ago that said, remember when? I just want to share this this is a little video. I'm going to share this video with you. Remember when? Do you remember that, Eddie? Matt, you remember that? Remember that beacon? I went on the roof this morning and we shot a similar video from a similar angle. Check out this video. Speaking of community and respecting diversity of thought and respecting planning and drawing people together constantly, every day, I hope those two videos give you some example of how Cedarfield survived the last 2 years, where we came from, to build this Pathways to Wellness building that you see here on the screen. We've come a long way over the last 2 years to get to this point of having an incredible Pathways to Wellness building in our courtyard. Here's another picture back in 2017. For those of you that didn't live here, this was a patio off of the main dining area. And you can see how that little piece of equipment is actually going into what was the old dining room. That same spot right there, see that angled architecture of that the patio? Here's that patio today. The dining room, the pub 2300 is upstairs. The outpatient therapy is downstairs. This is a picture from the Memorial Day party where residents were being socially distanced and very tolerant, waiting in line to get a hamburger or a hot dog. We have come so far. I just shared these couple of pictures with you because when I think back over the past 2 years and the level of respect and the amount of listening that we did with one another, the sense of community that got us through those past 2 years of this major phase of our master plan expansion. I believe if we can get through that particular type of phase, we can surely get through anything. There's many other much more difficult things in your life and in my life that we have already overcome, that we can draw on to think about our current reality, our current plan moving forward to get through this COVID-19 situation. And as you look at those particular moments of time in your life that may be seemingly harder than what we're going through right now, I hope you are drawing on that learned experience, respecting the fact that this is probably doesn't even pale in comparison to some very harder, more difficult times that you had in your lifetime and things that you overcome. So, yours truly had a conference call 2 days ago. Yesterday was my birthday, so it wasn't my birthday. It wasn't yesterday. Wednesday, I was on a conference call of all. It was organized by Leading Age Virginia, and so all of its members had an opportunity to join this conference call. And they asked yours truly if I could be a guest speaker on this particular conference call and talk to the members. I think there was over 100 members. So when I say members, I'm talking about folks that manage nursing homes, nonprofit nursing homes, nonprofit assisted livings, or retirement communities around the entire Commonwealth of Virginia. And I humbly accepted the offer to present what is our Phase 1 Cedarfield Forward Plan. And we talked through a variety of topics, namely, how did we develop the plan, what was the input from the plan, how did we execute the plan, what's the reaction of the residents and the families and the team members. And so we talked about our Cedarfield Phase 1 plan for about a good 20 minutes or so. And then I left it with the members. I said, if anybody needs to see our plan or has a comment about how we really shaped particular services or amenities, please feel free to call me. And so from Wednesday through today, there was about 24 calls, about 23, 24 calls that came in from providers around the Commonwealth. And the reason I share this with you is because of this very small sample of 24 different phone calls that came in. There's probably one or two folks that said, you know what, Cedarfield's being way too conservative. On the opposite side, there's a couple of folks that are saying Cedarfield's being way too liberal in executing a Phase 1 plan already. But the majority of the other 16, 18 phone calls that came in, there seemed to be a common thread through those phone calls, which was that it seemed like we struck the right balance in managing a retirement community and the services and amenities that we have at the community and how we shaped those services and amenities to conform with a Phase 1 plan living in this COVID-19 world. And so I just share that with you, and not to toot any horn, but just to give you some perspective of some other folks that were looking at the plan across organizational lines. And one of the most commonly asked questions that those executives asked, well, how are you monitoring whether or not residents are complying with staying within the Commonwealth, or not flying airplanes, and why aren't you quarantining anyone that's leaving the community? And so I talked to many people about trust and respect. People coming to respect the plan, and we are trusting people to come forth when you find yourself in a not so good situation that doesn't comport with what our plan is, so that we can help you protect yourself, and we can help protect everyone else around you. So, again, this is a little snapshot of time of something that we have been involved with over the past couple of days. As a friendly reminder, you are safer at home. We do not have a stay-at-home order, but you are, without question, safer at home. Whether you are in memory support, whether you're in assisted living, the health center, whether you are in independent living, you are safer at home. You can leave the community, but we do want to make strong emphasis, as my wife and I are still practicing. Matt, are you still practicing? How many of you go on to see your kids?
For the first time last weekend.
For the first time last weekend, Matt Downer went to see his children. He hasn't seen his children prior to that for 12 weeks. We are safer at home. And so I strongly encourage everyone to practice. Please don't blow it off. Don't blow off this core part of one of our shared values. We are safer at home. Please believe that. I believe it. I practice it. Matt is doing it. I believe we all need to rally ourselves around this one shared value and not just take it for granted. We are definitely safer at home. I only go to two places still, CVS and Publix on Stables Mill Road. The only two places I frequent. So if you have not rallied around that shared value, I'm hoping that you come to expect that shared value over the weekend. Wearing masks. So we learned from the governor that it's mandatory now in public. I consider our hallways here at Cedarfield public space. So the best defense against COVID-19 is wearing a mask. If you do not have a mask, please come down to administration, where I might even leave some masks at the concierge desk here overnight and through Saturday. We have a healthy number of 3-ply surgical masks, so they're really good masks that I will leave either with the concierge desk, or, like I said, if you have a need, to come down to the administration suite and we'll give you a mask. Please don't. If you are a team member that works here or a resident that lives here, please don't have any anxiety of not having a mask. The bandanas that I see people wearing around the campus, those do not work. They're very thin cotton, and those bandanas do not protect others around you if you were to sneeze or cough. The droplets would just go straight through that bandana. So, if you need a mask, please raise your hand or come down to the concierge desk and retrieve a mask. One of our other best defenses right at this moment, as we launch into phase 1, has to do with contact tracing. So if you go to a restaurant in the Short Pump area or wherever, and if you're not signing a list, I would, as you go to their hostess stand, I would strongly recommend that you ask the manager if they could catalog your name and number on some type of list, so in the event that something does happen at that restaurant, that the manager is able to contact you and contact trace you, give you information about an event that may have come up at that restaurant. So again, we can use that information here at Cedarfield and protect you and protect everybody else that lives and works here. If you're not signing in your petition out in the marketplace, or several other of those close proximity type of service-oriented businesses, I wouldn't frequent it as your choice of vendor or contractor, and B, if you really feel strongly that you should utilize the services of that business, I would just ask that you maybe talk with that manager and have them put your name down of when you were there and the time, so in the event, again, that they have something of a COVID-19 related incident, that they're able to contact, trace you, and inform you about a situation if it arises. Infection control is just critical. This is not the housekeeping department's responsibility. They do play a part, which we'll get into in a minute. But if you are hopping into a car, driving off campus, I would please make sure that the driver of that car has properly disinfected that car to make sure that you are safe in the back seat. We are not allowing visitors at the community at this point. This is not part of our first phase. Visitors are not welcomed in the cottages, in the apartments, in assisted living, memory support, and or the health center. We are not allowing people just to roam onto this campus and then cycle through any of these accommodations. So please share that with your families and loved ones, that there is a process that we are going through if somebody needs to get onto the campus. Mainly, residents without cars. Renee is off today, but she told me that she, given our live chat on Wednesday, put together a schedule of loved ones that will be coming onto the campus to pick up a resident here at the main entrance, and then off they go to go back to a home and or a restaurant. So we have that list. If you have a need, because you want to have your loved one come pick you up and leave the property and go somewhere outside of Cedarfield, contact Renee on Monday, and she will get you on that list. If you don't contact Renee, the gatehouse will not have your information, and therefore that person will not be welcome to drive onto the property. So please contact Renee at the administration suite, or leave a message for her over the weekend of an intention that you have for next week of someone who may want to come onto the property to pick you up. As you can see, the library is now open. Thank you again to Dolly Hintz. Thank you to Allison Zach, our Director of Philanthropy, and the entire library committee for what you have done or what you will do over the next couple of days and weeks ahead to open up what we have now as phase 1 for the library. And this is just checked out books or returning books. So it's a great step forward. We have received a lot of positive feedback about the library being open. And housekeeping. So we're going to kick housekeeping open starting on Monday. Sharon Brown and the team have a very thorough plan, and we intend to provide some surface cleaning, 45-minute cleaning of all the apartments and cottages here next week. So thank you for your patience and your steadfast resilience to this. And this was a hard one to get through. Sharon has a protocol to clean vacuum cleaners, have her team safely go into accommodations. They have a little questionnaire for everybody before they enter the threshold. And so next week, everyone should receive at least a 45-minute cleaning throughout the week. Beauty shop is open. It's a call by appointment, so if you want the services of our beautician, please feel free to call and make that reservation with Kathy. And then lastly, one more update about the mail room. If you are retrieving mail here in the main building, so this only applies to residents in independent living apartments, should you be retrieving any mail in the mail room, Renee put down some more professional, physically distant stickers on the carpet. If you could abide by those stickers and keep everybody safe, that would be lovely. And if you happen to fall into the cubby boxes, if there's disinfectant outside of that cubby room so that you can sanitize the room and keep it nice and safe. Eddie, can you zoom in on this picture, please? Does everyone know who these three fine ladies are? Eddie, do you know who they are with the masks on? Who's this one? Matt, do you know who these folks are? It's tough to find.
That's so hard.
Judy Johnson,
Oh, okay.
Nancy Garber, and Jane Kelly. So, just want to shout out to, you go back up. Just a shout out to these three ladies. Thank you so much to Judy, Nancy, and Jane. They endured the rain yesterday, and at 6:30, we're outside cheering staff on as they were coming to work. So it meant an enormous deal that there were three residents outside, A, at that time of day, and B, in the rain, C, carrying these signs. The impact that it made yesterday with team members was just extraordinary. So I just want to thank these three ladies for creating such great morale within the team yesterday. I'm sure it will carry, that momentum will carry for many days and weeks ahead. This little picture, Eddie, can you zoom on here? So I took this picture today, and I was standing in Pub 2300. You know that one table that has the 6 chairs all the way in the corner? The most beloved table of all Pub 2300? I was standing in that little alcove, and I took this picture. All the way down the assisted living is on the right-hand side. See that little red box that I created with the yellow inside? That's the future home of the garden beds. A future home that we hope to start real soon. We've received a lot of questions about where are the garden beds being implemented and created. And so I wanted to point out this is also the area where many residents have said, Michael, there's steps back there without a railing. We need a railing out there. So just want everyone to know that it's on our radar screen to put a railing out there, trying to get a very fair price, which seems to be very difficult with this one-off type of project. But we do intend to put a railing out there, and as soon as we get the final go-ahead from the county with the water detention system that we just created, then we will begin to create these garden beds in this particular area. So it's coming real soon. Hopefully we'll have some news about this early next week. Okay, next up is Matt Dameron. Matt, do you have great news about assisted living Sunshine Plaza Health Center? No. Matt has some really awesome news to share about our licensed areas.
the most exciting news. So, yesterday afternoon, we officially became COVID-free in Sunshine Plaza Assisted Living and Healthcare. We have no known positive cases of COVID-19 in those areas. We are incredibly excited. Yes, lots of applause. Our last resident double tested negative and came off isolation yesterday afternoon. He was an absolute rock star, and everyone was jumping and cheering. So we're so thankful for that. I know those couple of residents are very thankful to be out of isolation. The team is so excited, and yeah, so it's been a good couple of days. We hope to keep it that way, and so I think that kind of goes into we're still going through our phased plan. We're not relaxing any of our precautions or things of that nature. I think we got so excited yesterday that a few people thought that we could just tear down everything and we're good to go now. But we are very happy and excited. But we still are taking those precautions because we want it to stay that way and stay that way for a very long time. So incredibly thankful for the team up there, not only the team that has been working directly with these residents who I've talked about before. They have done a tremendous job of stopping the spread of this virus, but also the other areas that have been doing a tremendous job keeping it out with all their infection control protocols. So thank you all very much. So happy. Everything else just kind of pales in comparison to that. But just a few brief things for you. I know that Michael mentioned Memorial Day on Wednesday during his talk, but just wanted to reiterate that we had such an amazing Memorial Day celebration over in the licensed portion of the building. Sunshine Plaza had a great cookout with activities. We had cornhole, we had croquet, we had all different types of things, cooked sliders and hot dogs. It was so great to see everyone out and about, staying socially distanced. We kind of set up little stations around to keep people kind of separated. Assisted living, that was amazing as well. A big cookout in the back parking lot. Up in healthcare, we had things going on all day with our Memorial Day themed lunch and some sing-alongs and some different programs with our rec therapy people. It was just a great time to celebrate, and we've been so consumed with COVID-19 that it was so nice to be able to celebrate that holiday, get everyone together in a socially, physically distanced type of way. It was great, and that has actually got us thinking about future programs and events. So it really ramped up the excitement with the team over there. They're already planning something for 4th of July and events surrounding that, and just various programs that they would like to do individually with the residents and eventually with our phases when we move to small groups, small group programs. So as I've said before, with wellness and leisure, just with programs in general in this industry, we typically focus on group programs or performers where there's large amounts of people, and so this COVID-19 has really kind of forced us to rethink how we offer programs to the residents, and I think this kind of gave us another boost as to what we can do while still putting those infection control protocols in place. So we're looking forward to those future events and cookouts and the 4th of July. Let's see. One of the things that I've been focused on here the last week or so is really trying to get back to a new normal. You know, we went through a time frame there where we were really adjusting to everything. Our new, life as we know it, with zip walls and infection control protocols and all of this. So I've made it a real point to still observe all of that, but get back to some semblance of normalcy with our normal processes here at Cedarfield. So we've had a couple of new residents move into our healthcare center. It's so great to see some new faces. Of course, we have a whole litany of protocols that people go through nowadays, but it's great to be able to still provide that service and transition residents that need to go to different levels of service here at Cedarfield. We're also working on, which is what we were trying to do before COVID hit, we're transitioning our dining team into assisted living, our assisted living neighborhood. This is part of our neighborhood process where we have all of the people in that area report into the neighborhood. So this was part of the plan. I think I spoke about it on here before months ago, but that was kind of put on hold this spring. So now we're gearing back up and we're putting things in place to really finish off those neighborhoods and have the reporting structure kind of the way that it should be. So over the next couple of weeks, we'll be transitioning dining to assisted living, and then later on, we'll do the same process in healthcare. And let's see, we are also planning, we had Nurses Week a couple of weeks ago, and now we're planning for Certified Nursing Assistants Week, CNA Week. That is right around Father's Day next month. So we want to thank our CNAs all over the building for everything that they've done, everything that they do on a regular basis for our residents, not to mention what they have been doing with COVID-19. So gonna have some great celebrations for them coming up here soon. And the last thing, I'm very excited about this, and I think it's getting residents outside. I keep mentioning this to people, it's making me very happy. My office was temporarily moved because of construction, so my window overlooks the garden area of Sunshine Plaza, and I can also see the balcony off of the chapel in healthcare. And we've really made it a point the last week or so to get our residents outside and get them some fresh air. So it's so, it makes me happy. It's very heartwarming to look out of my window and see residents down in the courtyard taking walks, playing games, having one-on-one visits up on the balcony. It's just heartwarming to me to see that, and our residents, especially residents in a certain area of healthcare, have been cooped up for a while, so we're so happy to get them out, and the whole team has been really great about that, and excited to get our residents some fresh air. So, yeah, I think that's about it.
Yeah, I don't see any questions coming
I love this, by the way. This is amazing.
So Matt mentioned how he loves the fact that people are getting outside, and that's just great because it is one of our one of our definitions of our 9 domains of well-being. This piece of, Eddie, can you zoom in on this? This piece of art was just recently created by Carolyn Street. And I just love it. It's a full heart around Cedarfield, the front of Cedarfield as we know it right now. So thank you, Carolyn, for drawing this. This piece of art just completely, when I first saw it, it just completely reminded me of the importance of well-being and creative expression as one of those 9 domains of well-being. But it just also sent huge signals to me about community, about respect, about her expression in the middle of this COVID-19 pandemic, the love that Cedarfield is giving her, and probably vice versa. So just love this piece of art. Thank you, Mrs. Street, for creating it. Okay, COVID-19, by the numbers, as Matt has said, we have no known cases of COVID-19 in the licensed areas. In total, here's the numbers: 63 residents have been tested, 9 residents have tested positive over the last 12 weeks. That number has not changed, which gives us reason to actually launch into Cedarfield Forward, our phase 1 plan. And we had 91 team members tested, and 8 team members were tested positive at some point. And so again, that 9 number and that 8 number have not changed over the last 14 days, which gives us reason as a metric to move into our Cedarfield Forward phase 1 plan. Little construction update. Believe it or not, 16 days away, we will have an opening of the D Wing. Our first residents will move in on June 15th into the D Wing. We are just so incredibly excited that, that this other master plan phase is coming to a conclusion here very shortly. And so, more to come about that next week, but I did want to share that information with you. Pond dredging is just a few days off here. They had said that by the end of May that they would be complete. Looks like the middle of next week we'll be complete that project. And then I mentioned about the garden beds as the next project to the wellness courtyard. Speaking of the Pathways to Wellness building, one of the lessons that we did learn from the Memorial Day celebration, socially distant celebration, was we need more umbrellas. And so we do have them on order, and we actually have 5 more on order. See, that will provide enough shade out by the fellowship hall and or the stage area in the front of the building. Pathways building. So those are on order. This is an update for the residents who have loved ones living near and far. We will kick back up the supply shuttle program on Monday. If you are living in the area and want to get a bag of goodies to someone who lives here at Cedarfield and they live in the independent living apartments, then please feel free to drop off that bag at Gaskin and Malin between 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock on Monday. And one more time, we are scaling back these daily live chats to Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And so we will kick back up a live chat here on Monday. I think it's coming up. That's a quick week. So expect another live chat here on Monday at 3 o'clock. And Again, since yours truly lived in Florida, we had a lot of very unexpected weather down off the West Coast. I'm always watching the news about weather. This is your public service announcement. There will be severe weather kicking in here to the Richmond area. That second stage, so it's going to get very windy tonight with huge downpours. So early evening here at around 7 o'clock, if you are walking around the campus, I would just caution you that we are expecting some pretty severe weather here in the area. Okay, next up is Margaret has some words of spiritual well-being and into the good news section. Okay.
Hi everyone, I'm glad to be back with you this afternoon. There's been so much hopeful, positive information that we've heard today. The poem that I had planned to do just exemplifies all of that, and I'd like to share that with you. It is entitled God's Promise, authored by Mandy Wilding. God has not promised skies always blue, flower-strewn pathways all our lives through. God has not promised sun without rain, joy without sorrow, peace without pain. But God has promised strength for the day, rest for labor, light for the way, grace for the trials, help from above, unfailing sympathy, and undying love. And we've got some good news. Let's see who we have. Okay. This is Alex Simmons. He is the grandson of Tom and Becky Maxwell. He recently graduated from the University of Virginia on May 16th with a double major in economics and computer science from their College of Arts and Sciences. He worked as an intern last summer for Capital One here in Richmond and has accepted a position as a business analyst with Capital One at their headquarters in McLean, Virginia. He will begin that in August. Even taking a full course load of academic classes, he spent over 20 hours a week serving as a young life leader at Orange High School, traveling each week between Charlottesville and Orange. And his grandparents are very proud of the sacrifices he made to invest in the lives of the high school students during the past 4 years, letting them know how much God loves them. In his spare time, he was on the Virginia Alpine Ski Snowboard team, participated in intramural team sports such as basketball, volleyball, and inner-tube water polo. He loved going to many of the sporting events at UVA, and last year attended the Final Four and National Championship with his friends and his father. He even got his picture on the cover of a special edition of Sports Illustrated devoted to that tournament. So congratulations to Alex. He wishes him well.